shut up, you listen to my monkey mouth. There's a companion when you got pun on the canoa route. Hopped in a portal and got in a fight, Elias knocked him out. Bow, Naruto fighting style. Bow, UFC he tapped out. Bow, we win, we get crowned. Monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth.
Them Portal Boys be podcasting. This is Joshua.
And this is Elias.
And on this episode, we're going to be covering Season 6, Episode 3 of Rick and Morty, entitled Bethic, Twinstinct. And what is that? What's that?
Basic Instincts. You ever seen that?
I don't think I have.
So, 1990s sexual thriller, you know. You ever seen The Legs Crossed? I think they've done it like on Simpsons. Bunch of pop culture stuff.
Have I seen The Legs Crossed?
Yeah, so like it's you're the toad, so you wouldn't. It's like basically like super pop culture thing where like this girl's like an all in white, and she uncrosses her legs, and you get like an upshot of her skirt, and she like the whole basis of the movie is like she's a femme fatale, or she's like a Black Widow. She kills her husband, writes a book about it, you know, and then she's getting arrested. And then like the scene of all scenes in this particular movie is her in this like really like high white dress uncrossing her legs and then crossing it, and then like all these men get like, you know, flustered and red and everything from seeing the upskirt shot. Yeah, you kind of don't live in the Matrix to remember that stuff.
I'm unfamiliar.
So that was like one of I wouldn't
what
say.
What were we talking about before? How did this happen?
Well, it's from the name of the actual opening of the show. So it's
so the show is named after
So you know
a movie that I haven't seen.
Yeah, the play on words that they do. So it's just like Basic Instincts is a movie. It's a sexual thriller where she kills her husband, makes money off of it, but through the investigation process, she's wearing like this like, you know, white dress. She's getting investigated. She uncrosses her legs.
Yeah. I got you at this point.
Guys get flustered, and it's just like a pivotal pop culture scene in a bunch of movies. So like The Simpsons made fun of it. Tons of people.
Simpsons have done everything though. Simpsons did it. That's like literally a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke. South Park. Yeah. So like Willie's got the skirt on, and I think it was when Mr. Burns gets shot, and he was like, "Yeah, I was there," and he uncrosses his legs, and they're like, "Hey," you know, like so. And so basically, you know, like a play on Basic Instincts, in which it works perfectly with this one. It works absolutely perfectly with this.
This is a dope ass episode.
This man, I called you after I got to watch it. I was like, "What the am I watching?"
It's so hard not to talk about it before we get on the podcast.
It is, brother. It is
because there's so much dumbass shit that goes on in it that you want to talk about.
It hurt because I was like, "What is this episode,
bro?"
Man?
It literally starts off with something super talk aboutable.
Yeah, right? It really does. Yeah,
Rick flies into the window, into like the glass window in the back, like just
which is so
as
great
as
a turkey, because birds fly into windows, so it's super on point. Like birds just. I've had it happen in my house. Birds just fly into windows. It happens at Walmart. It happens anywhere that there's
even Rick as a bird gets caught by the window.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think there's even like a Windex commercial where it's like the window's so clean.
Yeah, the crows keep smacking it. Yeah, I hate that I know that reference. I wish that I didn't. I remember the commercials.
Partial Matrix step in. You get one pinky is fine.
Well, I mean, my dad made me watch a lot of wrestling as a kid, the commercials that happened during that, bro. I know all the WWE references. I remember WWE whenever it was WWF.
No, the World Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, fuck those pandas, bro. Yeah. It's the WWF in my heart still to this day.
Well, man, so that was big news that Vince McMahon's out.
Is he?
Oh yeah, like some sexual scandals. Basically, I mean, the dude's like 70, man. He's old as hell.
Did you really think that Vince McMahon had a clean nose?
No, I mean, from what I heard, he wasn't just like, it wasn't just women. Like I heard he was like smashing Hulk Hogan and like.
Good for Vince McMahon.
He was like, I mean.
Good for Vince. Why does he have to retire for that?
You know, optics. You know.
You can't be fucking your employees when you're a billionaire?
Probably not in this day and age.
I feel like you should definitely, like, if you're a billionaire, and consent's involved, it's cool.
I think that's probably the problem. Is like there's probably some consent issues on some of these.
Oh, it was probably like fucking
some Harvey Weinstein,
like real life sexual harassment.
Yeah,
shit.
I think it was like some Harvey Weinstein kind of thing. But I'm
gonna smash Hulk Hogan's cheeks, or you're not gonna be heavyweight champ ever again.
Right? Yeah,
what you gonna do when Vince McMahon runs wild in your booty hole? Damn.
I think that's like
damn, guys. So, Vince McMahon been out here Harvey Weinstein in the fucking
talent.
Don't tell me he butt fucked the Undertaker, bro.
From what I've heard is that The Rock was down to like get with other guys, and that's like what kind of.
Well, The Rock's a little loosey goosey. That doesn't surprise me too much.
Like I've heard some like insider baseball about how The Rock was like with one of the wrestlers and was like, if this shit ever gets out, like heads are gonna roll kind of thing,
Damn, Rock had who was he fucking? Stone Cold?
No, it was one of the I think. I forget who it was. It was one of the. It wasn't one in like the super mainstream, but one that like the name is visible. Like if you heard it, you would know who it was.
Yeah, I definitely would.
Yeah.
If it was someone who was during the period of.
I'll have to like go and do some investigation because there's like some guys I listen to that are real fucking marks, bro. Marks are like the people who are really into wrestling marks. Expose the goddamn business.
Heard. Got you.
Yeah. So. We were talking about how wild this is. He's a turkey.
What are you, Turkey Dracula?
Turkey Dracula. And so he's setting up this like wild, like Xbox game system.
What did they call it? It was a Pooplickian game pod. I don't remember getting you that. Space Mom got it for me.
And it wasn't a Pooplickian game. It was like the
X2000 or something. It was like the upgraded edition.
Yeah. And so he's like. He's getting ready to set it up. Literally plugs it in. And like takes over the television. And
I love that it's Thanksgiving again.
Yeah.
And everyone's the exact same age. That's the last thing.
He's like, how many of these Thanksgivings have we done?
It makes you wonder if this episode even takes place in like our reality because Rick in this episode has tattoos.
Yeah,
on
you were
his
talking.
ass.
Yeah, you were talking about.
And I'm telling you right now. I've seen plenty of Grandpa Sanchez ass cheeks, and he ain't ever had no fucking tattoos of Jerry as an eagle on his ass cheek. Now, maybe this is a recent development, and Rick forgot just immediately, but...
The funny thing is like, I like how when he gets the body upgrades, and he loses depth perception because one of his eyes becomes like a target finder, and so the other one becomes like a gun, but it's like on a string.
Oh, and he misses it? Yeah, because his depth perception's off. Yeah, that's great.
I just love the little things like that. So so now he's Turkey Dracula.
What are you, Turkey Dracula? That's great. I love that he just like walks around dick out in the house. Like he doesn't give a fuck.
And what is it? He's like, there's so few rules. Like Jerry's like, there's so few rules.
Yes, patriarch.
And he just like presses his skin. Like he just like taps his skin, and like nanobots create. And which is funny. He must have like done that recently, or we're in a different universe because I know that Beth remarked on how now it was time for him to wash his cape because it was starting to smell.
Well, maybe Beth just don't know what the fuck she's talking about. Maybe Rick does choose to typically wear his one coat. But yeah. I think you're reaching there. Bro. We gonna fight about it. But so, oh my God, the fucking toast that Jerry did at dinner.
The toast was perfection.
It was so cringe that my asshole hit the back of my esophagus, bro. I just wanted to,
you wanted to get out.
I wanted to do what Jerry did. I wanted to roll up into a pill bug.
I just like how Summer, because Summer and Morty are still teenagers, so their body and their mind lives in like this like cringy teenager thing, where it's just like overexpressions of love, overexpressions of like gratuity and all this stuff is kind of like a very teenager romance kind of thing, right? Where you can't kind of like control your emotions. So it's kind of like...
The fuck are you talking about? Does that happen in this episode?
Well, it does to the point where she's like, Morty and Summer are like, oh, because like he really loves their mom.
Oh yeah, at first everyone's like, oh.
And then it's just like, he's like, no, I would legit like kill myself.
I'd die, probably by my own hand.
And he's like, there's a safety... We bought a blender before the safety features, and I'm going to draw myself a warm bath and blend something delicious. Just
Yeah,
like
Beth
that.
is like, bro, you're gonna blend something delicious. Morty's like, to America? And Rick's like, to ending the toast.
And everybody's like, yes, to ending the toast. And it was like, so Space Beth is there. That's like the whole important thing is like Space Beth flies in, she's spending Thanksgiving with the family, and it's able to kind of like bring out this like whole wildness it's basically, that is the basis for for this episode, is that Space Beth has come down, she's spending Thanksgiving with them, and we're essentially watching them to kind of commiserate over this bottle of like weird wine.
What does commiserate mean?
Commiserate to me means like kind of like wallow in each other's like kind of see each other's perspectives. Like they're able to like wallow in each other's like depression. Like you would commiserate. Like if we were going through the same thing, we could find common ground and commiserate.
So it's like sympathizing over stuff that isn't enjoyable.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So like they drink the wine and since they are each other.
So it's misery and commiserate.
Yeah,
I see how that word comes together.
And so like they're able to like find they're able to be each other, be their most genuine self because they are each other. And so they find like this strange bottle of wine, and they start and the wine starts flowing. And truth. What is it? The drunken heart says what the sober mind can't, or whatever.
That's a saying that I haven't heard, but like it sounds right.
Yeah,
it most certainly sounds right.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like, or the sober mind says what, or the drunk mind says what the sober heart can't, or something like that.
That's a wonderful quote.
Yeah,
I'm here for that.
So essentially, it's that, you know.
These two start hitting it off.
They're just like, yeah, and so she's trying to pronounce the wine correctly, right?
Well, so she goes, I really like that Tuscan stuff or whatever. She doesn't even say the word.
Yeah, she just kind of like ducks it, right?
Yeah, she's too insecure to even say the word. She just describes it in another way that like uses words that she knows.
Which
how to
I've done that. I think that's kind of that's such an amazing thing that
pronunciate.
Yeah,
pronounce.
Yeah. What is it? Parmesan.
Parmesan.
Yeah. Which they didn't bring
hate
it. They didn't bring up Parmesan, so you might be right. I mean, not that it would come up during Thanksgiving, but that's,
bro, if you're having Parmesan cheese at Thanksgiving,
you're sick. You're
well, I mean, you might be doing it right,
I
bro.
guess so.
Man, I'll tell you what. I have spaghetti dinner at Thanksgiving if I could, if everybody wasn't going to be weird about it. If it's just me, if it's just me, bro, spaghetti dinner does just fine on Thanksgiving.
We were talking about like meals that just hit the spot. Spaghetti's one of those that's like a meal that you just remember as a kid.
Bro, just bury it in Parmesan cheese.
Oh, that's such like a juvenile thing to do. Like,
oh, bro, I do it to this day.
Just like bury it.
You know what I've got? You know what? One of my friends put me on was putting hot sauce in spaghetti.
Oh, we do that, but we're Hispanic, so that kind of makes sense.
Bro, welcome to Spice Town.
Yeah,
I've been eating non-spicy fucking spaghetti my
get like
whole
that.
life.
I get that Louisiana hot sauce, and it's just like I'm totally white trash.
Bro,
about
you know what I do?
What's that? Spicy ketchup.
Y'all need to sponsor us, motherfuckers.
Oh, sponsor us.
Give me money.
We're using
for what I'm about to do. B's and T's Whisker Bomb sauce.
B's and T's Whisker Bomb sauce.
They sell it at HEB.
Okay.
It's right next to like the Louisiana and shit. It's up towards the top. It's in a little bottle. It's like $3.
Okay.
And it's like fucking Louisiana sauce, except motherfucking 10 times as spicy.
Ooh.
Like you know me, bro.
Yeah. Did you eat that cheese? Because like that cheese killed me.
I literally ate all of that cheese, bro.
Just sat there like Homer, just eating.
No, bro. So what?
At a time.
And this is why I'm fat. I made grilled cheese sandwiches with it.
Yeah, that's what I did with
it. And
I died.
And I I would put mayonnaise on one side of the bread.
Of course, yeah, you got to get toasted, right?
Mustard on the other side of the bread. No, like on the inside of the bread.
Oh, okay.
But just a little bit, not to where like you don't want it to get like mashy and weird.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be just.
You don't want it to get soft and gross.
It's got to be just a tiny little bit of mayonnaise on one side, just a tiny little bit of mustard on the inside of the sandwich on the other, and then a piece of regular like American like nasty fucking processed filled cheese.
Yeah.
Some of that, some pepperonis, and another piece of processed American cheese on top of that. Pan fried.
Oh man.
I ate probably 5 of them sandwiches over the last week and a half, bro. Until all the cheese was gone.
Dude, that killed me, man.
I'm a nasty motherfucker.
Miserable.
So I'll tell you
for
what,
a day.
the very first one that I did, I just made with 2 pieces of that cheese, and it was like, whoa, this is way too hot. And so I had to cut it down with like some extra cheese and some pepperonis.
Yeah, I was miserable. I just like if you put like 2 slices on there, you know, side cross, throw it in the George Foreman, cook it up, you know, eat it, and then basically like died.
You're also known to be a big living vagina. Like,
is that what I am? I'm known.
Yeah. Whenever I see you, I just see like labias.
You ever seen that on the Boys where he's like the you don't watch that, but like I think you watch it.
I've seen season 1 and 2 of The Boys.
Okay. Well, there was like I think it was it. Can't think of the Wonder Woman kind of like person.
Maeve
sees one of the guys. It's like the one whose girlfriend exploded. And it's just like when you walk Huey, yeah, sees Huey, and Huey's like, when I see your face, it says beg to be pegged or something like that.
That's quality. I haven't seen that. That's from season 3.
Yeah, it's the best.
But I've also seen memes about it, so I can't be mad about it.
Yeah, it's just so quality.
Bro, so the reason why I haven't watched season 3 is because once I started, I'm gonna have to finish it.
Yeah,
and like I don't have like 12 hours laying around for me to just like fucking devour the next season of The Boys. What did I watch recently that I just pounded through like a bear at a Pride festival? What the fuck?
Stranger Things.
Yeah, bro.
Stranger Things.
I took Stranger Things to Pound Town, bro. That shit didn't stand a chance. I watched 2 episodes one day and then watched all the rest of it the next day. And that's what's going to happen to me with The Boys.
Yeah.
And I just like, I don't have the self-control to stop.
Yeah.
Like, I'll fuck up work. I'll fuck up life. Just to like watch The Boys, you know what I'm saying? And so it's got to be like a Saturday when the fights aren't on, and when I don't have Theo, and like when the stars
align, yeah.
Oh man, it's getting fucking brought to Pound Town too. But like, I'm a difficult unicorn to catch. You know what I'm saying? Like these content creators, you know, they've done a good job, and I'm gonna watch it. But like, sometimes you gotta lay a good trap and be patient, and that's what they're having to do with me.
And so we're getting back to it. We're gonna get off.
What are we even talking about? We're talking about Rick and Morty.
Yeah. So so you were having the question about, was the wine Rick's idea? Because it doesn't. It's definitely like there.
Well, so the thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. So she's insecure about her French, and she just like sticks her finger. In the back
she like
of her
interjects
head.
her with a chip or some shit,
and she's able to talk French, and so they're having fun, like having the same comedy chops because they are each other.
Of course.
And then she's able to straighten her back out too, right? It's just like
they're
just
like
able to
this,
just moment, right? Yeah. So you were saying, so you had a question about, which I didn't even think about. I just assumed that she'd brought it, but the wine was just kind of there, right? And so they start pouring, and wine is her weakness, right?
Yeah, I mean, even in the world where she became a heart surgeon for people, she's still like at home drinking wine.
Yeah.
Like, she likes to booze, and that's a known fact. And so, yeah, I definitely, because the thing that really makes me think about it is that at the end, right, Rick pulls out a button, opens the window, and the window is actually like a fucking
hologram
refrigerator type shit into another dimension or some shit. Who fucking knows? He puts the bottle of wine in there amongst a bunch of other very strange bottles. Like there are several flasks.
Yeah.
That probably like contain his typical sauce. There's one that has like a Morty in it, like a worm. There's one that's like a fleshy bag thing.
Yeah.
Like there's all kinds of, and it's like all clearly like Rick level shit. And he puts it up in there, and he closes it, and it goes back to being a window, and he throws the remote in the fucking garbage disposal.
Yeah.
And like incinerates it. But here's the thing: is that's not keeping Rick out.
Yeah, it's
like Rick can fucking in 30 seconds go to his garage, whip up a thing that'll open that for him again, and be done with it. So like it's just to keep anybody else out.
Yeah.
And so I definitely am curious to see. I think that Rick, you know, he definitely alludes to it during the conversation with Beth whenever he's making his remote control.
Yeah.
And like the innards are falling out of the space whale, and they're having their conversation about forgetting the ice cream and shit. He definitely alludes to having done this type of shit with himself.
Well,
and so I wonder if it was something that he was doing proactively to either A, build bonds through similar experiences with his daughter, or something that was going to drag her down to his level,
Well,
right?
on top of
Like
that,
I wonder if Rick's
when
like
we
low
watched
key
the very
insecure about her
end-
taking over and being like better, right? Because they talk about Beth being like a
younger Rick. Yeah.
So I wonder if he feels low key threatened by that, and he's trying to find ways to like proactively either either to drag her down to his level, or to create actual bonds. And it could be either, because he did go back to that reality. Whenever they scanned his brain and he saw baby Morty, he started crying. Like, this is like a rogue, irrational Rick who has emotions, right? So it could be that he wanted to have a like quasi shared experience with his daughter.
I mean, for the most part,
or it could be that he wanted to drag her down to his level.
This is a Rick who loves but can't say, is never gonna say it.
Just doesn't have the emotional intelligence.
The funny thing is like, what does he say? He's like, you need to fix that portal gun, and he's like, the more you ask me to do it, the less likely I'm not gonna fix it.
I felt that shit in my heart.
Yeah, that is definitely
like, yeah, Rick, yes, Rick.
So I love the hyper realistic Street Fighter with the bar.
Oh, bro, the meter.
Like, the meter of like when the meter falls to a certain point, we forget why we're even fighting.
And then there's no guarantee that we even will fight because of that bar. They have to like go from like they have to find each other.
Yeah, they have to find. And so he's at the library uptown, and there's a library downtown, and he's like, "Oh no!" And she's like, "Just wait there. I'll meet you there." And so,
and they definitely do meet up there.
Yeah, they meet up. Oh, and then the original game system, right? Or something like that. The puzzle.
The OG original game.
Yeah.
A crossword puzzle.
Oh, no, just a puzzle.
Or a jigsaw puzzle.
A jigsaw puzzle, yeah.
I don't do fucking puzzles, so I don't fucking know the difference.
Jigsaw puzzle. And then you
edit that out. I'm not an idiot. I'm not stupid.
You remarked on how he didn't know it was a gun until they pan out completely, and he literally is like, and it's an eye. It's an eye.
It can literally only fit one way. It's the last piece of the puzzle. And the thing that I like the most about it is that got COVID on me. You know, Biden said COVID's over.
It's over.
I only know that because you told me. So if I just falsified information and blame Mikey.
Wow, thank you.
You're the one who told me, motherfucker. But I love that whenever he like zooms out, he realizes that the puzzle's done. He's like,
it's just completely,
Like not only was it hard for him to figure out the last piece, but it was also shocking to him when he finished the puzzle. Yeah. Like, it's just like so many levels of just like shit for brains, Jerry. You know?
So we have this really great, it's not great. It's fucking twisted. We have this twisted relationship between Beth and Space Beth.
Well, and so one of the things that we kind of glazed over is that how after they have their little like
their first tryst,
their first little like kind of sister down, that night neither of them can sleep, and so Beth walks outside, and of course Space Beth is leaned against her spaceship, because she can't sleep either, and then they like almost kiss, and Summer sees it.
Summer comes for like late night water, kind of sees it, makes a little bit of a ruckus. Can you explain the ruckus? And so, sorry, you wouldn't get that reference because you're normal.
I didn't realize you were making a reference.
Breakfast Club.
How old is this movie?
Breakfast Club?
How old is it?
Oh, man. The same age as me, probably.
When was the movie?
80...
Bro, you weren't alive. Why are you making references to things from before you were alive? You're a fucking time traveler. Fucking time traveler. And I keep catching you, motherfucker. Quit talking about Airplane and fucking Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
What the fuck ever shit from the like. These were lame references in the 70s and 80s, my dude. I need shit that people today are gonna give a fuck about.
They're still referencing that how this lame stuff gets referenced constantly in the Matrix. So, yeah.
I can tell by how many people are watching the podcast. No one gives a fuck about your fucking prehistoric. You might as well be making jokes about goddamn Tyrannosaur bones, motherfucker.
Okay, so we have. Oh, and then you also brought up them like vaping, the stuff that he was doing with the gangsters, right?
Not the gangsters. So. Right whenever Rick first makes the clones, and Beth calls him to make sure that she's not a clone, he's doing drugs out of like a glass pipe, smoking it with like.
Isn't it the same thing the president did? Or he said that they could get the country to do this and everything would be peaceful.
Yeah, it was like literally the leader of Palestine and it was like the leader of the Jews and the leader of Islam or something, and like they like managed to squash their differences because they smoked space drugs with Rick.
Yeah,
and they're vaping the same shit. Like as they exhale, it's like creating images of what they're thinking and stuff, and like it's like clearly
Jerry is one of the images.
One of them's a fucking fuck you finger, and so it's like literally the same stuff.
Yeah.
Which is neat, right? Like I mean I was high, so I saw it.
So you noticed
like, oh, neat, that's the thing. So once the Beths start having like their awakening, they're like, we need to get some space, right? And so they go and tell the family they're going to go get some gloppy drop ice cream, which everyone says vanilla.
Yeah.
What the fuck type of vanilla ass family are the Smiths, bro?
I'm sorry, but like, okay, I found an amazing
please don't tell me
vanilla.
Please don't tell me you're vanilla. Oh my god.
God, yeah. Okay.
You got me questioning doing this podcast.
Creamy Creations vanilla bean vanilla ice cream is the best ice cream I've had. Not a big chocolate guy, I'm just saying.
I hate this. I literally am questioning all my life choices right now. Like you're my business partner. You're literally vanilla.
He's like, what does he say? He's like, I consent.
Oh my god. I approve.
I approve.
Fucking Jerry, bro. Shit gets crazy this episode.
Oh,
if you haven't seen this episode,
twisted, man.
If you haven't seen this episode, Jerry becomes a cuck to Space Beth. Okay? Yeah. Let's just put it out there. That's what happens. Well, let's get on with the rest of the episode. They go to do the gloppy drop run.
Yeah.
They like float around space. They fucking Space Beth's space station,
which is a tortoise, which is so hack. But tell that to my
that's just her spaceship.
Oh, right, that's just her spaceship. I'm sorry, I forgot.
So she has a spaceship that has like the thing going on that Rick calls hack, and then she's got her own space station, which actually both Beths have, according to Space Beth. Mm-hmm. They fucking there in front of the picture of Beth's family.
Yeah, which I was like, does that have any like significance? And you were like, well, she does have some residual, which is probably some Rick feelings.
I mean,
right?
She's coming around to Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. She clearly is like family. You know what I'm saying? So
she's always down to save Summer.
She's got a picture. She's got a picture on the mantle. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? She comes to Thanksgiving. You know, she's like loosely family oriented.
She's not NC all the way.
Well, she's like, my ass looks good in those fucking jeans over there. Or like they were being, and like I find myself attractive too, and they just start.
Oh fucking. Man, and but when they're outside the spaceship and they're kind of about to kiss, she's like, I know you're just a scared little girl, and this is where you hold your tension
because you store all your OCD right here.
Yeah, man,
a scared little overachiever.
Yeah, a scared little overachiever. Boy, man. Oh,
bro, when they land and they forget the ice cream, they start fucking in the car in the driveway, and Morty sees it. And one of my favorite things about the whole episode is how every time, like whatever Summer saw, and they transition scenes, her eyes stayed in the same place, and so they did the same thing with Morty.
And she's like, now you're playing video games the way that I started playing video games.
You mean staring numbly in a trance?
Yeah.
Yep, not judging, just noticing.
Just noticing. And he goes, I tend to notice that you notice things before I notice things. And she's like, basically chalk it up to like age. Like, I'm just like wrong. Like, I'm just a little bit older. I got exposed to it before you did. We're not exactly. Let's not read too much into it.
Well, he goes, you notice before I do, and she goes, but you do notice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then Morty goes, now we don't have to notice together. Yeah. Right? We just play video games.
Yeah. And now we only have to worry about one other person noticing.
Oh my God, Beth!
And then just like, yeah.
Like, oh my God, he found him. He found him.
And so they make up this like BS why they forgot the ice cream, or they forgot it, or they left it at the.
They left it in the car.
Yeah, they left it in the car, and so while this is all happening, Rick is like, "Hey, motherfucker, like you can't be taking controllers like that, or like taking my seat." And he's like, "Yeah, I can. I need to play video games to escape from this." Basically, essentially the same thing Summer said.
Morty goes, "Yes, I can. It's mine." And then Rick's like, "Well, give me your Summer." And Summer's like, "No, Some of us need all the control we can get.
Yeah.
Which is one of the best lines of the whole episode.
And so that's whenever we see him like systematically tearing down the space whale, orca, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And
they communicate telepathically. They talk to you in your dreams.
Yeah, and he was like, "Don't worry, I'm not killing it. I'm just giving it a better circulatory system than it already has.
A better esophagus.
A better esophagus, right? A better esophagus than it already has." And so now they have to pull Jerry in. And Jerry's like, I don't want to play this video game. I don't get it. And he's like...
Yeah, well, so, Jerry finishes his board game, and he's trying to go show the Beths right, and the kids are terrified that he's going to happen across them being fucking kinky. And so they try and tell him to play video games, and while he's playing video games about a wife having an affair with a woman on a fucking cuck-ass husband, Rick shows up with his handmade remote control.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I like about it the most is that if you notice, like, theirs were, like, the ones that came with the system were smooth. Mm-hmm. Rick's had like an adornment on it, and it was the adornment from the forehead of the space whale.
Oh, okay.
He adorned his remote with the adornment of the space whale on the remote that he made with carbon wiring from the space whale.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's messed up, but it's awesome.
You got to be high to notice this shit, guys. I'm telling you.
And there's also...
Hit fat fucking dabs, I'm telling you.
There's this, like, weird relationship between, like, the video game system... I had a point here. But anyways, it doesn't matter. Like, so...
Get that high. Do the thing. Forget what you're talking about. It's great.
There was essentially... He makes the controller... And fuck you, right? Fuck you. That was awesome. And so he's essentially they're trying to so this is what I had such a funny. There's like, so they're like fucking, right, and they're like, well, she's like, she wants because she's Beth, she wants a title on it, and Space Beth's like, fuck titles, like we're just gonna like let's just see, like let's just have fun, and
let's just let this be what it is.
Let this be what it is. And she's like, well, I want to see how far we are gonna take it, and so I
know how we can gather that data.
And so they essentially go
into Rick's holodeck,
which he probably hates having a holodeck, right? Like he essentially, that's probably hack to him, because I know he hates stuff that's like too there.
The guy pulls whatever he needs out of his coat.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear about what's too hack and not.
Yeah.
Okay, the guy literally has handily whatever he needs, like, tucked under his fucking lab coat. I don't want to hear about what's too hack.
And so he's like, fuck, there's masturbation, and then there's this. There's
they did a which I don't know what this means. I didn't do any Googling, but I know that Rick does in fact say that they pulled a full San Junipero in there.
So San Junipero, I don't know what that is. That's too Matrixy for me.
Maybe we laughed at something that was make believe.
It could have been.
Maybe that was the Rickford Grumples of the episode.
I'm assuming
Mr. Frumbles.
San Junipero sounds French, and French are very sexually liberated.
Pull it up on your phone. Fuck it. We got time.
Spare that.
What does San Junipero mean?
What does San Junipero mean?
Yeah. Let's see what the answer machine tells us real quick.
When Yorkie and Kelly visit San Junipero, a fun-loving beach town full of surf, sun, and sex, their lives are changed.
So it's a TV. Oh, it's a Black Mirror episode.
Okay, cool.
So that makes sense. San Junipero.
I mean, not really cool. Whatever.
I mean, it's essentially just like inserting Black Mirror into their zeitgeist.
Gay.
I'd like to think of it more as like it not being real and it just being in fucking
Black Mirror's gay.
I watched the.
It's feminine.
I watched the politician episode. That was pretty creepy.
I've watched it all. I just like to talk shit. Have I watched it all? I watched the first season or two.
I watched the politician.
How many
episode,
seasons are there now?
And I watched like the bicycle episode. Oh, and I did watch the one that like kind of took the like Star Trek to like a next level. It's like downloading the people into like a video game.
Damn, you're talking about a whole bunch of shit I ain't seen, so I take it back. I haven't seen.
You know who Scuff Matt Damon is?
You know, I saw the episode with the DARPA dogs.
DARPA dogs. That's one I didn't get to see.
I think it was like episode 1, man.
Yeah.
There was like, they look like dogs and have machine guns on them.
Nice.
Whatever. Fuck that goddamn show. The whole point was fuck the show.
Yeah.
So
anyways,
talking about the show.
Yeah,
fuck
exactly.
that. Fuck that.
It's pulling us in.
Fuck that.
So fuck it. Did we talk? Okay, so that's a little bit later on in it, but it's still fucking awesome. The salt shaker scene is life.
Oh man,
that is life.
Bro, so let's get there real quick. So, they have the confrontation in the holodeck.
Yeah.
Right? The kids are scarfing down the ice cream at Thanksgiving dinner. Morty thanks them for doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
And he's like, thank you for doing it.
And Summer's like very selfless. Space Beth confesses to what's going on.
Yeah, because she feels like she's being emotionally blackmailed by the family, and she's like, "This is why I got away. I don't need emotional blackmail. I don't need my family telling me who I am.
Or what to do.
Or what to do. I'm Space Beth. I literally take down galactic governments. I'm above this shit.
I do exactly what the fuck I want.
Yeah.
I'm not a slave to anything.
Yeah, and so she's like Jerry, I fucked me.
Like,
or
I fucked your wife. Or I'm your wife, and I fucked the clone that you fucked.
Yeah.
Either way, we loved it.
Yeah, and
That's
she was really upset about it because she saw that it could have been long term. Like they essentially grew old together.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And so at this point, Jerry has his flashbacks. Like, I'd love to get torn apart by Beth or by Beth. Beth Smith.
And there's just like this guy there, his best, who's clearly a friend who cares about what makes Jerry, which is essentially just like a pill bug, a worm, a soft human being who's just like, the worst thing this woman can do is allow you to get wrecked. And he's like, all I want to do is get wrecked by this person.
And then he comes back and goes,
boom,
and fucking swirls up into a pill bug.
Yeah.
And Rick's like, oh shit, I forgot I did that.
Yeah, and so essentially you can't break into it because he'll die.
He'll turn into a Shrek.
Yeah, he'll turn into a Shrek, right? Yeah.
And so the Beths try and work it out while Rick goes and gets high and plays video games. And then the Beths decide that the way to get out of it is to have Rick mind blow them. Mm-hmm. And as Rick goes to mind blow them, Jerry comes out of his pill bug form and is like, don't fucking lobotomize yourself for my comfortability. And he gets real for a second. He's like, look, man, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that I would kill myself if you left me, because it's not true.
Yeah.
I'd cry.
Go to Starbucks.
I'd pack my shit. I'd cry, and I'd find a job on Starbucks Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Which
is awesome. I mean, that's what anybody probably would do with a broken heart.
And he's like,
right?
that's what I'm going to do right now.
Yeah.
And you guys can get married on the moon and give each other robotic fucking finger orgasms for all I give a fuck, and make fun of my weird little dick. And the weird little dick comments, dude.
But he's Jerry, so he's got to make it about himself and how terrible he is about bringing sexual gratification to Beth, right?
Yeah,
because nobody brought up his dick.
Deus ex-husband.
Deus ex-husband was hilarious. And so there was
How old are we? We've had 1 million Thanksgivings.
I'm telling you, man. Whenever Summer asked for the salt, and he's like, because he doesn't have anything to occupy the space in which he's having to live.
He's been just numbly playing video games, and now he's just numbly seasoning his dinner.
Yeah.
And they're literally having Thanksgiving dinner, and instead of the family being there, they're up here having this weird cuckold sexual awakening.
Yeah.
And the family can hear it. And Morty's
remember when
Morty's just hearing this shit going.
Well, when Morty was having his fun with the sex robot.
Oh yeah,
the sex.
Yeah.
So it happens. I mean, so.
Well, yeah. So that salt shaker scene. That salt shaker scene is fucking tops, bro. And
what was it that we wanted to make out of it? And we were saying we need to make a T-shirt out of it. What was that little quick saying?
Fuck, you like a little pervert.
I'm sorry. Jesus Christ.
You like a little pervert.
You like a little pervert.
So, yeah, man, Jerry is on his way out, and the Beths confront him, and Space Beth is mocking, what should we have done? Should we have been can we make out with each other? And
he's like, I consent.
He's like, yes, you may.
Yes, you may. Yeah.
And Space Beth's like, this is weird, and Jerry's like, weird and permitted.
But it's funny, he knows all of the consensual language, so I'm wondering if that's something that they learned whenever Mr. Nimbus.
It's probably absolutely something that happened with Nimbus.
Yeah, right.
I love how Beth's like, "Oh, you like this?" And he's like, "I might like it."
It's like,
and you like a little pervert. Those are all the best fucking. The best quotes are.
The best quotes.
Yes, you may. Weird and permitted. I might like it, and you like a little pervert.
So funny,
Jerry played his cards right.
Yeah.
Because now he gets to fuck 2 Beths.
Yeah.
And he's the one with the control in the bedroom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
like, it kind of worked out for him.
I mean,
I guess.
but
Shit. Good for Jerry.
I mean, essentially, he does what he always does, which is like what Rick says. He plays the victim enough times to where he's basically in the point of being able to manipulate or gaslight his way into having a threesome with 2 Beths.
You act like prey,
Yeah.
but you're a predator.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what fucking Jerry did.
Yeah.
Like, Jerry did it.
Yeah.
Like, Jerry fucking did his...
He parlayed a pathetic moment into a pill bug into a threesome with...
And an ongoing arrangement, it seems.
Yeah.
I love that that Rick, while this is all going down, is like, let's just talk about what we're thankful for. And Summer's so desperate, she's like, I'm thankful for, like, I guess, just water.
Yeah, she's just...
I'm just thankful for water.
Yeah, and then he's like, why? Morty's legit crying. He's like, tears, water tears, building up on his eyelid, and he's like, Discovery Channel!
Why?
Discovery Channel!
Why? Fucking Discovery Channel.
Oh my god. What the amount of depraved indifference was hilarious. Because they had to be indifferent, right? They had to, like, disassociate. And still couldn't. They couldn't disassociate. They had to live in this moment of hearing Jerry getting his rocks off with 2 Beths.
Bro, the way that Jerry was...
That'll live in Morty's mind forever.
It's gonna live in my mind forever, bro. I had to hear that. I've heard that shit like 4 times now.
Ooh.
That's great. But
Oh my goodness.
So that's the end of the episode. I mean, you know, the Space Beth dips, right?
Yeah,
they have like a family, like they all kind of see Space Beth off.
Yeah.
And Jerry's like, I hope we all learned something this weekend because I sure did. And Rick's like, I did, and like takes a swig.
Takes a swig, and then that's whenever you were talking about how he basically puts this like wine away for a lifetime, or away from everybody except himself.
Yeah, and then so that's again what made me think that maybe Rick planted it there for the sake of triggering this event.
So I don't know, because not all the time do you watch them all the way through to catch those little tail end snippets of like the directors talking.
Well, so that's only on your like fancy Hulu.
Yeah,
pay us Hulu, talking about your shit. But yeah, that's only on your fancy Hulu. I actually can't even watch this shit on Hulu. I gotta go pirate the shit like an asshole.
Yeah. So at the very end, he goes back to the Jerry Baree.
Jerry does.
Yeah, Jerry does. He goes back to Jerry Baree.
Well, you said he.
I'm sorry. I apologize. So Jerry goes back.
Just to clarify for like anybody.
Yeah, Jerry goes back to Jerry Baree, and he goes up to the basically like the host.
The check-in.
Yeah, the check-in, and is like, "Hey, I'm here to hang out," and she's like, now we don't let Jerry's come in by themselves because
you can't come here alone.
You can't come here alone. And he's like, why? And he's like, because some Jerry's come here to basically molest other Jerry's.
Like some Jerry's come here and touch the other Jerry's.
And he's like, what?
I guess I'll see myself out there.
And then he goes into the underbelly because he knows what it is because he's been to Jerry Baree, so he kind of knows the ins and outs of it. And he goes into like what essentially is like the boiler room of the Jerry Baree. And he gives himself a peck.
It's a back alley.
Yeah, okay, it's a back alley.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's like essentially at the back alley of the Jerry Baree, gives himself a peck on the mouth, essentially doesn't find it at all appealing or attractive.
All he goes is, oh, thank you.
Yeah, and then just like they both walk away.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, yeah.
And that's an episode. Fuck you guys.
Oh my god.
Fucking incels.
Fucking Jerry's, all of them fucking
People
Jerry's.
are gross. Should never listen to our fucking podcast.
They probably permit this stuff.
Rick and Morty, 1,000 years.
Monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth.